Mark, I will pose the question to you. I know you value winning.
Hi, boys.
Good morning. I know you value winning.
You gonna ask me about Clay and Dame?
Yeah.
I thought this was a super interesting conversation.
Do you like it?
I really did.
This was in my back pocket because I get labeled a Dame hater, and I'm not being a Dame hater. I find it funny that he occupies this space where he gets very little criticism. He's great, but like other players that are of his equal stature, if they don't win, we crush them like Harden.
There's a lot of dynamics at play here, and I think that the number one thing that happens is we decide that in order to be elevated, we decide in order for you to be elevated into this conversation, you have to be an NBA one.
Yes.
But my question is always, have you proven that you're an NBA one if you're being asked to be an NBA one, but your team's not doing anything?
Yeah.
So are you an NBA one? Like Russell Westbrook was an NBA one. I thought it was a complete unmitigated disaster, and they gave him the MVP. It's like great stats.
As a 6 seed.
Right. You won a bunch of people fantasy basketball leagues.
And good morning, Your Eminence. I apologize for not giving you the proper respect.
Sorry that I sat down. All rise.
Yes,
anyway,
thank you. Coming up in 5 minutes.
That guy's in New York.
You guys butchered who I am in Game of Thrones. I'll have that for you in 5 minutes.
I like that.
But go ahead.
That's a good tease. That's a good tease.
Thank you.
But now the other here would be what I would say would be the fair sort of retort, which is
please allow me to retort.
Well, everybody gets their lot in life. Clay got to play on the Warriors. Mm-hmm. Like, what if Dame was on the Warriors instead of Steph? I think a lot of people think it would have looked relatively the same. The Warriors would have, and we'll never know.
Yeah, it's like what did Dan Marino look like with Bill Walsh?
Like, exactly. I don't know if Dame is like, something lesser than an NBA one, or if he just never was blessed with great teammates and a great coach.
To me, Dame is Allen Iverson, and that to me is the best comp because Allen Iverson made one finals, and it was in 2003 because I remember when my second kid was being born, my then wife was like, put the NBA finals on. Oh. And I was like, look at you.
Aaron McKee.
Exactly. Oh. And,
George.
AI had nobody. The one time he made it was in a time where
look at Eric Snow.
The Eastern Conference, they stunk.
I know. I think Mutombo was on
Post
that team.
Kerry Kittles, right?
Yes.
In the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah, look at you.
And, AI made it to 1. He didn't get a chip, but we don't think about AI in any way. Like, we think about Dame Lillard like, oh, we can't hold it against him, in my opinion, that he never won because he's had nothing.
They do have similar vibe in terms of, like, they're beloved. People love Allen Iverson.
They are singular forces in the association.
Part of that is beyond basketball. Yeah. Part of that is just who
Dame Lillard has C.J. McCollum, and I would argue that C.J. McCollum is better than any teammate than Iverson ever had.
Well, he had Melo in Denver, but he was older by that point.
He was older.
He had Iguodala. And I hate to say that name, and I promise not to say his name until April 1st, and
Different
I apologize.
Reference. Yes. You've been given permission.
The Holy Ghost.
I appreciate it.
Mutombo was cool.
Dude, don't even start with me on the blasphemous. Get out of here with that.
During Lent.
How dare you? Honestly,
how Iguodala for
dare
Lent.
you? And I heard it this morning. You played the cut.
It's ridiculous.
And I went to hit the button, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ride this out. It's Lent.
Yeah.
And, I love Jesus more. Well, whatever. I mean, but for him to blaspheme this time of year, get out of here.
1,400 minutes of podcasting.
I heard that.
42 minutes of playing.
That. And you know what?
You like that, don't you?
You know what
7
hit
points,
me?
15 episodes.
You know what hit me when you guys played that? And I don't want to dwell on this because I told Mark I'm not going to speak his name. It's what I gave up for Lent.
Okay.
But what I realized is that I love sports for athletes doing athletic things.
Yes.
I don't love sports for athletes like on the mic. And this is no disrespect to him or anyone else.
That's a good admission. I like that.
And I mean,
because I do.
Well,
I dig who they are.
I dig like
in
the
addition
mic'd
to what
up,
they
like
are.
Patrick Mahomes mic'd up.
Jamal
I can't
Williams.
wait to watch that.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, I'm an athlete. Here's what I think. I don't go to you for that. I go to you for you're an athlete and you're an unbelievable athlete.
Okay, I think a lot of people feel the way you feel, whether it's the politics, whether it's I'm just saying like in general. I think a lot of people come to sports to detach.
I think,
and this is not shut up and dribble. I don't want people to perceive it the wrong way.
No, but I do.
That's what you're saying.
But I do think there's a bigger openness to who you are when you're playing well. Nobody wants to hear from Andre right now because he's not even playing. Who? Exactly.
Thank you.
Right?
That I agree with.
You watched Full Swing. Yeah. Why? Why do you want to know what Rory McIlroy has to say about Live Golf? Right? Because Rory McIlroy has a bunch of majors.
Right.
And he's, ranked second or third or fourth in the world at any given time. Like, if Rory was just not playing, we would be like, dude, shut up. Shut up and swing. Right? But, like, if Andre were playing right, if Andre were doing all this podcast stuff 6 years ago, I don't think it would trigger anybody.
It's still a tune-out to me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, Draymond hasn't triggered
triggered
anybody up until the punch. But when Draymond was podcasting last year, we were all for it because he was playing.
In the playoffs, everyone was like, maybe we shouldn't be doing the after he does the WWE ejection from
Draymond. He's going to get under people's skin all the time.
And we loved it after Game 6 when he sat up there in Boston and podcasted.
But there is something to Baker Mayfield's a great example. Like when Baker was rolling, he's in every commercial.
Sure.
And then he starts stinking, and every one of us is like, all right, that's enough of Baker.
Commercial.
That's enough of Baker. And it was literally just that one stupid commercial that he was in.
Here's another person who triggers Dibs, and his name is Lee Steinberg. This was why.
What a piece of garbage.
I think I'll go ahead and say the name now. Why not? They're all retired. This is why Matt Leinart and Lee Steinberg broke up.
What?
Because Matt Leinart, literally before even being drafted, was like, okay, what parties are you getting me into? What ad campaigns are we doing? Let's get this started. Let's start bringing the millions of dollars in. And Lee was like, my dog, you have to go play first.
Yeah.
You have to go win first because that crap's going to bother people if you do it and you're not winning.
Yeah.
Flash forward. What did Patrick Mahomes do in his career? You didn't hear a damn thing until he was 2.5 years in and winning playoff games.
What are you talking about, Willard?
And he had a weird voice. But anyway, and then that's when you got ad campaigns. So, I mean, I agree. Like a lot of it has to coincide with at least playing well or nobody wants to hear it.
And my issue with Lee Steinberg is that he is filthy and disheveled. And I told the story.
Everybody's got
we
their
were at the
luck.
Miami Super Bowl, and we interviewed Lee Steinberg, Jolo and Dibs. He took the gum out of his mouth, and I'm sitting next to him. Sticks it underneath his chair. I swear to God, Joe, I'm looking at him
What kind of human does that?
this guy.
Lee Steinberg.
So
And children.
Did you say something?
Not in the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh
They're
my
on
God.
the air.
Yeah.
About an hour later, we have Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms together. Phil sits in Lee's chair. After the segment, which was like 15 minutes, it was gold. These two going back and forth like frickin' frack. It was amazing. Phil stands up, and he's got Lee's gum stuck to his slacks. Oh. So now I got a napkin. I got a cocktail napkin, and I'm dabbing at Phil Simms. I'm putting it in the water, and I'm dabbing at Phil Simms' thigh.
It's the best story
Trying
ever.
to get Lee Steinberg's gum off his leg.
That would
disgusting.
That would
bro.
trigger me to the fullest because I'm the guy.
so
If I see
funny.
people
The
throw
worst.
litter out of their window, I'm the guy who's like driving through, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Pick that up!" Like that's me. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm that
Dude,
guy.
Shout out Oakland, California.
But it bugs me. Well, this morning I woke up to a fire. I got all triggered this morning. So this is the third time I've driven from my house underneath the freeway to get onto 280, and there was a fire. So I had to pull over. I wanted to call it in.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to clean this up, whatever. Then I park my car and I step out and there's a poop. And I'm like, this day it's driving
my
me
God.
nuts.
Chasky would have been a great park ranger, according to YouTube.
Yeah, not
But
bad.
here's my thing. Like, I don't like dumping. I don't like the littering. I don't like it.
Dude, the dumping is what gets me.
It
Illegal
drives me
dumping.
nuts. Hey, let me put my mattress and my TV and my. Okay, you're moving. Go throw this stuff away. It costs $40 to take it. And I'm not trying to do some financial thing. I'm saying
People don't have the 40 though. $40 goes a long way. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game.
Is free.
KGMZ FM at AC West San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download Odyssey app.
drives me nuts.
And favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. By the way, Courtney Woj.
I'm sorry.
Woj of ESPN. LeBron James's right foot is expected to be reassessed in 2 weeks to see how much progress he's made. But the timeline on return expected to extend beyond that checkpoint where Lakers reside in standings by then could impact how soon it makes sense.
I've been telling
for LeBron
Mark,
James.
don't sleep in the Lakers, and I'm about to give him NyQuil.
I went
because
night-night.
you can go back to bed.
He's gonna miss.
It's a shame.
But doesn't it suck for
almost all of March,
It
if
sucks.
not all of it.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
Look at-
I was
whether you-
loving this Laker run,
Me
and
too.
I hate the Lakers.
I do too.
I hate the Lakers,
No,
but
it was-
AD and the upgrades they made,
they were good.
And
No, it was good
LeBron
for the
is-
league.
Yeah,
it was
great.
It was good for the
It was
league.
great.
I
It's
root
over.
against them every time they put uniforms on.
Yeah.
However, and we talked about this yesterday. If I was in the league office, God, I'm praying that whatever comes out of the play-in tournament for 7 and 8 was Lakers Warriors. Like, what would be better than those 6 teams that are currently sitting in the top 6 scenario?
Lakers, Denver, Warriors, Memphis.
Oh,
Would've been
my
amazing.
God.
Oh, my
And
Would've been
Memphis and
amazing,
Denver would have been terrified.
I mean, just think about all the stars in the Western
Terrified.
Conference. Luka,
Yeah, you're
Kyrie,
right.
Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
Booker, CP3,
He's
LeBron, AD, Jokic, Ja, Steph, and the Warrior. Like, these
my
players are
goodness.
going to be juicy with names. And now the Lakers, which, you know what? It sucks for LeBron James that he's hurt, but it doesn't suck to me because Laker fans, after one win, coming back from 27 down against the Mavericks, we're already talking Jerry Harrison Jr., blog writers for the Lakers. Oh, we got the deepest roster in the West. Nobody's going to want to play us. And I was like, all right, let's pump the brakes. You're still 12th in the West.
This is going to sound disrespectful, but the Eastern Conference is literally 3 players.
Giannis.
It's Giannis,
Embiid,
and Tatum.
and yes.
That's
Well,
it. I know there are other good players.
Yes,
Jimmy
yes,
Butler, but
yes.
like it's not that there aren't other good players.
James Harden.
But the
is the new Harden. Harden
He's diving on the
4.0.
floor.
oh my gosh,
Dude,
He's
playing
got
a good
no
point
juice.
guard.
Dude.
He's got no
nothing.
juice.
He's got nothing.
Too many
Harden
strip
is
clubs.
passing the rock.
Back
Should've
to the
took the
Clay
night
Dame
off
thing.
in
Back to
Houston.
the
Yeah.
Back to the Clay Dame
there's more
thing.
meat on that
Because
bone.
I find this very interesting. Like now, if you just polled people now, they're all going to take Dame. But in 10 years, in 15 years, what are they going to say? Because I remember at the end of Pippen's career, oh, this is who Pippen is. And then as time went on, we've elevated Pippen back to probably where he should be, which is like, dude, he was an incredible wingman for one of the greatest players of all time. And I don't think Jordan has any of the team success without Pippen. Like, they go hand in hand to me. It's the Batman-Robin thing.
The problem for Dame is because he's so fantastic. And listen, this is not new. NBA greats who never win a ring. This is a thing, right?
Malone, Stockton.
Oh, we keep going. Barkley, Ewing.
exactly.
There's always going to be a bunch of those guys because the NBA is so top heavy. And if you are the 3rd best player of your generation, you may not win because your name's not LeBron or Steph. Period. That's it, right? So there's a lot of those guys, but a lot of those other guys we just talked about also did all of their business in a big market or with a big voice. Dame is unique, man. He's up there in Oregon. Just putting up numbers for a whole life. And yes, he's going to make $500 million. He's going to bank $500 million.
Even more with the beer commercials.
There's zero, right? He's got a great
No
life.
sympathy.
And
None.
Adidas.
Yeah.
But it is kind of unique. I can't think of another player that was considered this great, put up this many
It's
numbers.
a Tony Gwynn field.
It's
And
Reggie Miller.
That's a great comp.
I was going to say Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn
Like-
is a great comp.
Like Tony Gwynn went to I think 99 World Series with Kevin Brown or
Yeah,
whatever.
he went to 2 World Series.
Was it
He
2?
Lost,
Okay.
lost to the Tigers early 80s,
There
right?
you go, with Bochy and Flannery and them. Anyway, but like Tony Gwynn occupied this space of like everyone recognizes how great he is.
Yeah.
And there's literally nothing negative you could say about
Right.
him.
I think it's Reggie Miller because he never even made. Did he make an NBA
He made a
finals?
finals
with
He
Mullen.
made one
Finals.
Yeah, they
finals
lost.
with Mullen.
And Miller,
Rick Smith.
and he became the
And the
Knicks
Davis
foil.
brothers.
Like almost,
Yeah.
he's like a guest of a large market because he became
Right.
part of the Knicks story.
Oh,
I guess so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
Spike Lee. So
Like Dame has never even really become part of the Warriors story.
If Dame stays in
round.
if Dame stays in Portland and doesn't win a title, do we think better of him?
Yes.
Or if he
Yes.
goes to another market and doesn't win a title?
Think about the Gary Payton title with Miami Heat. It doesn't mean anything to anyone.
Where you
Or Karl
just
Malone.
Where you
They
just
didn't win.
mentioned,
Right.
like think of how different we think of Westbrook and Harden now. When
Harden.
your jersey, when I think of you,
Yeah.
and your jersey is that multicolored because there have been 5 of them.
Shout out Gaylord Perry.
It just doesn't. It doesn't feel the same. Yeah, it doesn't.
You know,
it doesn't feel the same.
I'm thinking about Dame at Portland, and people forget how good Bill Walton was. NBA champ up there.
Clyde
Clyde
Drexler?
Drexler, Terry Porter. They had some
Kevin
squads.
Duckworth, rest in
you could
peace.
make the argument that
Look at us.
Michael
Terry
Thompson.
Porter.
Like, is
Michael
Dave, and
Thompson, don't leave him
I don't
out.
even want to do this.
Clay's dad.
I don't even want to do this, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if Dave's the best Blazer of all time. Like, it's hard for me to put,
think he's-
put him
Maurice
above
Lucas for those of
Drexler.
us who partake.
Right, there you
He's
go.
the-
You think he's better than Walton?
He's
Well,
the
I mean,
most eye-popping Blazer.
You go back to
right?
to when they won a
Right.
chip.
Yeah.
You know.
My
If you're
dad
an-
says that Walton's the great woulda, coulda, shoulda of sports. Had he stayed healthy,
Yeah.
he
Right.
would have been one of the greatest
would have.
players the game's ever seen.
Clyde Drexler, finals.
Drexler was sick.
But
Dream
Drexler
team.
won his chip in Houston,
Yes.
so it
Yes.
feels
Did.
a little bit different in terms of where he got
as
his.
a 2, by the way.
Yes.
Like it's kind
Right.
of the same question that faces Dame. The difference is I just don't. Some guys, I wonder how motivated are you? You know, like guys went to live golf. Some people, when you give them hundreds of millions of dollars, they're just like, I I'm good.
DJ put on 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's one of the greatest players ever, and he just doesn't care.
Dude, this Mayakoba thing with Liv, they are just
it's crazy.
Honestly, Liv, I've decided is a midlife crisis. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just people on a midlife.
You're a golfer now, Bonta. Wake up.
Yeah, come on, dog.
Come on.
We're talking Dame Lillard over here. What's the problem?
Goo is early -3.5, by the way, in the head-to-head, the first 9 holes, the first 9-hole matchup.
So wait, say that again. I don't know betting.
9 holes, Bonta versus Guru. The first 9-hole matchup, Guru at a 53, Bonta 57. Guru's been posted as -3.5.
I'm going to take the over on both those scores.
Well,
If we're counting all the strokes.
favored to beat me?
Counting all the strokes?
He's favored to beat me?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I knew that would wake you up.
Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
morning, Bonta.
I mean,
The King's
I've
been challenged.
I've never swung a club on a golf course before,
My
so
liege.
I mean, I'm surprised I'm not.
Neither is he.
You need to get him on a
Neither is
horse.
No, he did.
Where
He
they
shot-
do the jousting.
He swung at the tournament we had in San Jose.
Yeah, and
Remember
then he
that?
got mad at me for
It was
laughing.
your 50th birthday, Dibs. Remember we sung you happy birthday after you
What a day.
That was when
reciting
Lemuel
those
was
terrible
cheating.
jokes.
It's-
Actually, you're pinpointing the brothers, so we don't forget.
First of all, I was not pinpointing the brothers. I was pinpointing you. Second of all, I was 6 and 9 on my jokes, and the 3 that I missed were all Bonta related.
Yeah.
We had a golf tournament,
what's up.
and it happened to be my 50th birthday, and I had the mic, and so I was running material. And
weird.
You were on fire.
I was the Jordan Poole of stand-up
I
comedy.
can't picture this.
I was the
Except
volume
you stayed
joker.
on your feet.
It was all fun and games until they brought up a cake for me, and I'm like, oh my God, I am that blank hole because I was running material.
Dibs looked at me crazy. He scoffed at me. I was like, give me the microphone. And I said some lame joke. It was like, all right, he's
You
running
were
material.
great. You were great.
And then
This was pre-King, by the way. He was just a prince back then.
He was a squire.
I had no idea, Your Honor, at that point that you would become
I was rolling
the
with the
man that
big
you
papa
are,
back
dude.
then.
I had no idea that you would become, 2 Chainz over here, and that you'd be the king of all media. Had I known, I would have been much more deferential.
So, all right, now that we're here, play my Game of Thrones music.
gosh.
I'm going to run through this. Let's laugh a little.
You got me wrong.
Gavin Lux toward
I'll tell
ACL,
you
by the
who I
way.
am.
Let's get to
Gavin
that.
Lux for all you baseball lovers.
Yeah,
Gavin
yeah.
Lux toward ACL for the
Did you
I
see him
saw-
running the bases?
Yeah,
The
dude, that
leg
was nasty.
bowed.
Well,
That was rough.
it was bad.
Shout
I
out
was
Bruce
like,
Bowen.
whoa.
Pro Football Doc right away. You can I always love to go to the docs just for their tone because they don't want to say like,
This
this
does not look good.
He goes, look, at minimum, there's some LCL action going on here that's not
God.
good, so he's going to miss a couple of months.
If it's a CL, he's out.
Right,
Any
but
of
he
the
goes,
CLs.
but he goes, let's all hope that the ACL didn't go too.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And then I saw Buster Olney said something this morning where he was like, this is going to be a long time. So
They have an interesting team. I don't want to talk about them right now, but they have an interesting
Dodgers
team.
need a shortstop.
Did you know Jason Hayward's in their camp?
Yeah.
I couldn't
No,
believe that.
I didn't.
I
He
couldn't
is.
believe that.
Play him at shortstop.
I hope
That'd be
so.
fun.
Lefty shortstop. That's like my little league team. I like that. All right, so let's go around. So we used to play this game at night, and I said, this is how it all started. Me and Covey were goofing around one night, and I said, if Bruce Bochy, the old sheriff, right? He's the sheriff in town. Well, Randy Johnson would be wiping the glass at the bar
I love this.
of the saloon, right? And then you started painting the picture, and like, if Don Nelson was robbing the stagecoach, who would be a part of his posse? And I threw Stack Jack in there. I threw a bunch of guys. Well, who would be trying to arrest them?
Right.
It'd be Jeff Kent, right? He's one of the sheriffs.
Sure.
Okay, so now we're doing the same thing for medieval times. Bonte's the king. Can I get a little music here?
Which king, though?
It doesn't matter. He's just the medieval king.
Hopefully, I'm not Ned Stark.
Well, and hopefully you're not the boy king, Joffrey.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Hopefully
That would
I'm
be
not
Danny
Ramsay.
Freisinger.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm a VP now.
So the High Septon, the head of our religion here, because he's always at war,
Who's
the
Ramsey?
politics and the religion, it's got to be the Pope is Matt Hegan, right? The program director? Guys, I really need you to hit these brakes.
look.
Now that you
Yes.
call him the Pope, I want to get him one of those little mobiles that he can drive around
hat.
in. Yeah, well, not just the hat.
Yeah.
I want him to have the car that's got the windows that are
Yes.
high that he can just sit and look at people with
Yes.
those beady eyes that he's got. That would be great.
So they said the village philosopher is Mark Willard. Okay, he's the village philosopher. The master of whispers, who's on all the-
Wait, Dibs, why'd you make that face?
I thought you guys had him as a different character earlier. I was
well,
driving
Oh,
There
there.
are
no,
multiple
he punked
characters
out.
that
He
was
did.
in
He
Jeff's
totally
book.
he presented the character very differently
Yes, I
an hour
did.
ago.
Storytelling
When I wasn't in
was
the
coming.
room.
He tried to
It was
gloss
like
over
The
it.
squire
It was
does
like
not
the-
have armor.
He
town-
punked out.
The town jerk who never
Right.
stops talking and is the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, he
you.
punked
Has
out.
a new
I was
label.
reading it verbatim.
New label.
No,
Mark, I
he punked
apologize.
out.
Why are you gonna say it like short?
Here we go. The master of whispers.
You're right, Drew. Now, but your boy did turtle up when Willard came in.
I did. All right, I did turtle up. They call me Michelangelo.
I don't offend easily. Go ahead.
The master of whispers, Joe Spadoni, on every group thread at the station.
That was perfect.
Okay,
That was perfect.
Now here is your head of the round table. You're the King's Guard. Chris Mullen's the number one knight, right? The most trusted.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
Darrell
Talked about it
Wright,
yesterday.
Festus Azealia are in this knight's table, correct?
Those are my guys.
Yes.
One of them's got to be like the big monstrous guy who defends Cersei all the time. Yeah, the
Well,
mountain.
So
The
who would
mountain.
be your mountain?
If those
I'm not
guys
gonna
are going to
name
be
that
in
one.
here,
Big Dog City?
Well, no, then
Big Dog City would be my mountain. Yeah, that's a good one. Big Dog City would be
I don't even know
good.
who that is. It's a 4.
Yeah, Big Dog City. Shout out to Mikio Barlow and Baby Jaylee. She just started walking.
Yeah.
if those guys are going to be in, then Bonta needs to be in twice because we need Radio Bonta and TV Bonta.
Oh,
True.
It's two different people.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's
Good
Two different
call.
people.
Yeah.
Good
As
call.
we well know, that's
More
two
TV
different
Bonte today
people.
on the show.
Is
More
Ray
TV
Ratto
Bonte.
Merlin? Is Ray Ratto Merlin? Like he's a wizard, right? He's not a real human.
He is a wizard.
He's a wizard, right?
He touched me on the rear in the restroom yesterday, so it felt very wizardly.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the
I know
time.
people are like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "No, this is normal.
No, it's how he
completely
says
normal."
hello.
Exactly.
So who would
Who's
you be?
Jamie Lannister is the question.
Who is Jamie Lannister?
Yes.
Well, in this scenario, if he's king, the guy who's gonna like stab him right in the chest, it's got to be Steiny.
Not bad. Not bad.
That's a 4.
I'm either the
I
really.
love you, Steiny.
Or JD.
I thought about myself as two different. I mean, there's a lot of people coming for you.
I mean, yeah, when you're the king.
I'm either who's a really really short dude.
Oh, it's
Syrian. See,
Tyrion. I'm either Tyrion, but you know who I thought
So
I
you're
was.
the
Dibs.
brothel.
True story.
You know who I am? I'm Melisandre, the Red Witch.
Oh, yeah.
That's
because
who
you're
I am.
always 2 moves ahead.
Right,
And
you're
I
right.
will conjure up. I mean, I've survived so many different regime changes.
You are a survivor.
You
I'm
should
a
have been beheaded a few
conjurer.
times. Huh?
You know,
Quite frankly,
I was going to
And
say.
I'm quite sexy with my shirt on.
See,
See, I was going to
Destiny's
call you
Child,
Tyrion earlier, but I was like, I'm not going to disrespect Dibs like that. He would not be happy with that.
You know
so I
what's
wasn't
funny
going to say.
is Tyrion is maybe the smartest person
He
on the
is.
entire show.
He's
Yes.
brilliant.
and also equally diminutive, like your boy the Dipper.
So who's guru in this village? Someone said town crier. I don't think that's appropriate.
I'm different.
He
Yeah.
would be a great town crier.
Well,
I mean, he
Fillmore
does
Mike is
walk-
Robin Hood, right? Fillmore
Okay.
Mike is robbing
Who's
from the
Hodor?
rich, giving to the
Hodor.
poor.
Hodor.
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 Who's that?
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Is that Ratto? Ryan Ratto?
Man, yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Dan Devone.
I don't. See, I don't know Dan well enough to be able to make an assumption on who he would be in this village.
We could disparage him with that, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alan Styles. He's a factor now. Where's he at?
he's a big time factor.
What would Alan be?
Don't look at me. I have to confess, I never even saw this damn thing.
It's
You
pretty
didn't
good.
watch Game of
Pretty
Thrones?
good.
I don't watch anything.
He doesn't. He's got 3 kids. And
I don't
not a
watch
lot
it.
of time.
If it's not a
Yeah.
Warrior game, a Giant game, or a 49er game, it is highly likely that I just cannot fit it in.
Can you agree here? If Bonte thinks he's the king, right? In
I
this
don't
scenario,
think I'm the king. You guys
Okay,
named
I
me
think
that.
you think you're the
No,
king,
I don't
whatever.
think that at
You
all.
definitely
David
think
I
you're
think
the
I'm just trying to
king.
get a
David
check.
Bruce
Bend
is
the knee.
Bonte thinks this could be all over next year, so
Good third
stop with the
person.
king.
Only the
Well,
king refers to
exactly.
himself in third
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
So if these are the Crusades, Bonte
point.
believes
Good catch, good
he's the
catch.
king, right?
Yeah.
And then Damon has to think he's an usurper coming for the king's crown because he believes he's the rightful heir of the throne.
No doubt.
Well, he's
Right?
Ramsey,
No
right?
doubt.
Well, I mean, that's a tough beat. Ramsey.
We're not going to give anyone
yeah,
Ramsey. That's
yeah,
not fair.
that's
Tough.
tough.
That's
One
tough.
One of these
Yeah.
days, Damon's going to wake up early and come in here just to protest the fact that the king nickname has been given to someone else.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I
A
agree
lot
with
of people
that.
not
Classic
happy with
Ramsey
this.
behavior.
A lot of people not this. You guys are right with Steiny. He's probably listening. Really?
Damon is Stannis. That's actually very appropriate. Stannis Baratheon, who
led the rebellion.
He should have been king,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
kind of got.
The one true king.
Thank you, exactly. And Stannis rolls with me, Melisandre,
I like that.
and the Red Priestess. So-
I like that.
And Damon
Wasn't-
and I go way back.
Wasn't Game of Thrones that? And this was to me, it was too intimidating when it got so big.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like hard to pick it up halfway?
Well, you could binge it, but
Yeah,
I think
right.
there's
Yeah.
so many characters in this
I-
world.
I got no
trying to
binge
get in
time.
halfway. It's like it's too much. Like
Yeah.
even Sopranos and The Wire, there's a zillion characters.
So
There's
that's-
like 3 times the amount of
Yeah.
characters.
That's
in
why I
Game of
didn't do
Thrones.
it. When it,
Yeah.
plots.
when it got so big that people were just on social media assuming that everyone was watching, like someone would go to
Yeah.
Twitter and just be like, "Oh my god." And that's all they
That's
tweet.
it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just
Hashtag
assuming
Thrones.
that everybody.
Yes.
I'm like, it was so intimidating to like be like, I'm already 2 seasons
There's
behind.
so many things that happen in that
Yeah,
show.
like
It
I
was the
can't
last-
pick
By the way,
this up.
it needs to get said that Khaleesi is Whitley Sandretto, because I don't know if you probably weren't here at the time. Maybe you were.
Good call.
She actually had the
hair like Khaleesi.
hair.
Yeah.
The platinum.
She actually looked like
good call.
Khaleesi. So
That's a good call.
Really good call.
As we continue to assign
I like
roles.
that.
Saw
and
Whitley just back from London, by the way.
Yeah,
Was
she's
covered in
terrific.
doves.
Yes.
Celebrating another Super Bowl win, huh?
Mother of Dragons,
Hey,
don't
look,
cross
I'm
her.
happy about this one.
Here's
Yeah.
my
I didn't
favorite
make a bet,
text
though.
of the
I
year.
didn't make a bet with her because the last time I made a bet with her, it was all bad.
From the
People were
fucking
chasing her. Really, dude? Really?
First, LeBron names himself the king, and now Bonta.
No, see, I didn't do that. I didn't name myself the King
Bonta.
510. I didn't do that.
One
That
king
was
gets
Joe
slayed.
Shasky
Yeah.
and the Roasters.
The next rises.
It was Shasky and the Roasters who did it. I would never give
LeBronte?
myself a
Well,
nickname.
It's interesting
I would
because
never give myself a nickname.
as a devout listener to the show, and it takes me an hour plus to get in from the East Bay, I am remembering a bit every week called King of the Hill.
Yes.
And you are Bonta Hill.
They
and
named
you
that
are
segment that King of the Hill, not me.
Feeding into your ego, knowing you'd love it.
No.
Damn, do I know my partner?
No.
You
Called
gotta-
me Dan, so I'm going to have to agree with you.
Daniel.
Bonta, you got to stop. You got to stop
Only
the
my mom.
disassociation,
Yeah, it's
man.
Joseph
You're
when
too
I'm in
big of a
trouble.
presence on this
Embrace
show
the
to
crown.
suddenly everybody
I know.
else came up with
You're
everything.
not humble. You're
no
fake
way.
humble.
He came up with
No
King of the
way.
Hill.
You're fake
No
humble.
way.
You're
I
humble.
was just doing some rankings on
Thank you.
Twitter. Shasky was like, "Oh my god, I got an idea.
I
We should
love
do
it.
King of the Hill."
You tripped
I was
and
like,
fell
"All
into
fine."
it. Right. Yeah, exactly.
I fell into it. It's
You
fine.
accepted it.
Yeah.
Wackest king of them all.
The king is here. No, it's good. Embrace it.
Want to
And,
be down with the king.
Yeah,
I'd rather have.
exactly.
I like the
man.
TV Bonta radio Bonta bit a lot better. To me.
I do too.
Now
The
you're
king makes me
picking
feel
amongst the
uncomfortable.
many
So do we.
worlds,
Right.
the
So do we.
multiverses
Right.
that
I
we've
like the
created for
TV
you.
Bonta
Are you
radio
listening to
Bonta.
that guy?
Not only is he referring to himself third person, he's referring to both of himself as third person.
I agree.
Two-way media
That's like
Bonta.
sixth
Ha, ha.
person right there is what that
Jeez,
is.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of people.
No, it's great. It's
All
great.
right,
He's
we
gonna
had a
have his
little. We
own
had a little.
personal changeover.
We had a
Back
little
in
conversation
Iceland.
this
I'm
morning.
not going to read that.
We had a
one.
little conversation this morning about Giants baseball. Bonta
Oh, boy.
is actually excited for Casey Schmidt
Talk
now.
about what?
It's not. Stop it.
Wait, time out. Wait, how come we can obsess about James Wiseman?
I know
I
it.
mean this.
By the way,
like,
we want to have a
it's
Wiseman conversation
February.
right after
That's
this.
why.
I can't be happy to see a
20
Giants
years
prospect.
Be happy. You
No.
can be thrilled.
Why am I not allowed to be
No,
excited?
but I challenge
happy.
this. No, I challenge this because if it were August and Trey Lance
Danny
throws
Gray.
a touchdown pass
Exactly.
to Danny Gray, we lose our bananas. And Trey area. Why is it not okay? Summer League, we talk about it.
Yeah.
Why is it not okay?
It's okay.
To follow what's going on with our teams 12 months a year.
It's fine. Nobody's saying
but
it's
why
not
do you
fine.
have- but you have this, both of you have this snap
No,
reaction right now.
no, I do not.
You're
I'm
triggered.
all
If
about
you want
Casey
to rank
Schmidt.
the
You're
things that I'm
triggered.
interested in right now, February 28th, Casey Schmidt and a gapper is about 11th.
That's fine. That's
That's
fine.
why I'm giving you the what?
I
I had no problem with Casey Schmidt. I want to see it now.
I'm a big Casey
Second
Schmidt
round
guy.
pick out of San Diego State. I
You're
want to see
not.
it.
I've got his
Brady
jersey
Crawford-
on order.
Brady Crawford
Number
said what he said,
9.
right? Best infielder I've ever played with. Did I want to see it? I can't wait for the
I
first
can't
series
wait.
at Yankee Stadium. And Casey
I've
Schmidt
got him
is
on
man in the
Mount
hot
Schmidt
corner.
more
What's
already.
What's your question, Joe?
Who
Who
would
would
be
it
on
be?
Mount Schmidt more? Jason
Yeah.
Schmidt?
Mike Schmidt,
Schmidt.
Michael Jack Schmidt,
Yeah, Michael Jack Schmidt, 500 home runs.
Schmitty
I
from
played
Always Sunny?
One Day at a Time.
I
No,
played-
love
I thought
Always
you were going
Sunny.
Always Sunny.
I
love
played high
Always
school
Sunny.
ball in San Mateo with a guy named John Schmidt. but
Okay.
he was a jerk.
Okay, put
so
him
if
on
you're
there.
There's a
out
show
there,
called
John,
Schmidt's Creek that I
Yeah.
liked.
Great call, great show. No, but like
I might have made it up.
here's the thing. I'm
Anyway.
a sucker. I went on MLB.com. I
Garlic
watched a
fries and
little bit of the
baseball,
Giants.
guys. Here's a preview.
No. I'm just saying, like, there's no lot of
So
sports.
still
No, there
on my
actually is a
intel
lot of
from-
sports. There's a lot of baseball going on right now, and I'm excited to see all this stuff. And I'm like, this is what I was saying to Lubman. Lubman and I are arguing about Farhan, Sabian.
Yeah,
and this
they're
stuff.
going
If
arguing.
one guy
It's bad.
shows a little bit of promise, just a little, of the young guys, how much different do you think about Farhan coming in here? Let's just say Casey breaks, Schmidt breaks, not Casey at bat, but he breaks camp with the team, and he shows he's a player. Like, I feel like the optimism around this team would totally change.
I don't know if it's just somebody needs to look good. Like they need to play well. Like the whole team.
Okay.
Like the team needs to be good. And at some point very soon, homegrown players need, like new homegrown
Yeah.
players, not Brandon Crawford, need to be a part of that. So one, I would say, is just a start. That's great if Casey Schmidt looks good. And it's great if by June Kyle Harrison is up and he's throwing a 2-hitter. Now we're
know what else
starting-
would be great?
Starting to have a conversation. But
They
need to
look
be-
cool while doing it, too.
What's
I want
that?
Casey Schmidt to
And
be a
if they
cool
win
player.
games.
Yeah.
Swagger.
Yes.
Does he have
cool,
swag?
Cool comes with a 303 batting average.
Does
You know
Matt
what I mean?
Chapman have swag?
I mean, was
Little bit.
Was
Yeah.
Buster Posey cool?
No.
No, he was.
No, he's a baller, though.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
Give you some ballers.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
You want some Acuna,
I want
Soto
some
swag.
bat flips. I want some swagger.
You want some swag.
The kids want to see that.
Yeah.
You're losing us.
Yeah.
Casey Schmidt.
Mitch Haniger.
Mitch Haniger.
Yeah.
Logan
Michael
Webb.
Conforto.
Hey, he played yesterday.
J.D. Davis.
Yeah, boy. And Kyle Harrison pitches tomorrow, I think. So all eyes
Logan
on Kyle Harrison and his 38 pitches in spring. I'm
Logan
looking forward
Webb
to it.
wasn't sharp in his 2
got-
meetings, huh?
No,
We're
yeah,
ramping up.
boy.
Give us,
Boy.
give it. I'd love just 30 seconds from each of you on
Yeah.
like what's the emotion when you see Wiseman put up 23? Like
It's-
what? How does that feel?
There's a duality. There's one part of me that understands that I don't think he would have ever done anything with the Warriors this year.
Okay.
Simultaneously, I'm happy for him, and I feel like he has been like, he's like being freed.
Feels
and
relieved.
I also feel like, man, I feel like we got rid of him a little too soon. And I said that in real time.
It feels to me like we're watching Summer League, quite frankly.
Okay.
The Pistons are terrible, and Charlotte is barely any better. Good for you, James Wiseman, but you might if you did that in the G League, I'd be equally impressed.
What you think, King?
It's a deal
sorry.
that
That was a
we're going
gut
to
punch.
track every single season because he does have potential. And we misremembered how better he was getting as a rookie. This narrative that, oh, man, he was holding the Warriors back, blah, 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 blah. I think he was better than what people remember. And now in Detroit, he's free, and they're going to lose a lot of games. They're young. They don't have any veterans. But don't give me this thing that he's a bust because 23-7, Anthony Bennett wasn't doing that. Michael Olowokandi wasn't
Yeah.
doing that. Evan Turner wasn't balling like that. Like, you know what I'm
We're
saying?
going back to the Candy Man.
The
I
word-
love
the
it.
word-
You like that?
bust.
University
Little
of Pacific.
Nice.
Yeah, the word bust
Thank
needs
you.
to be
Him and Pete
held
Carroll.
Right.
for everybody.
So
23
I'm
and
just-
7,
yeah.
minus 11.
Minus
Still a loss.
11. Everybody's going to fixate
Yeah.
on plus minus, but he had
Sure.
10 and 10 the other day against Jakob Poeltl, and you know what? He was a plus 16. So I'm kind of with Shask. I think they gave up on him too early, but there wasn't a fit here.
We're going to get into that right now.
All right, Willard and Dibs coming up. Brought to you by AC Transit.